Hey folks, it's Ken from Silly Westies. It's been a while since I made a video documentation, so anyway, we're gonna get right to it. We're already into scenery. Just check it out. Yeah, looks pretty good. I've done some a little bit of variation of several types of scenery using blueboard, um, using styrene for space structure. Using looks kind of rough, but I'm using some of Brangton Enterprises urethane products, and also his rock castings using cast satin and the polyurethane. There's going to be a lot of rock detail here, even on this scene here. This is excuse me, this rock cut here. This is a highway. You'll notice I've got a piece of paper. This was a template, and I made a road using signs. Okay, I'll kind of show you. That's what I drew out by not really freehand, but using a small piece of thin Luan. You can see I've welded them with real thin pieces of styrene, and I think I've got about I don't know, probably 4 pieces on here of styrene. Then I took it outside and I did a Duke's mixture of paint because I didn't have any I didn't really want any texture paint, but I didn't have that modeled type where I'm using several different types of paint. Also, I've got a highway tunnel in here that looks kind of cool. I haven't seen a highway tunnel. That's also built out of using the signs. And the sides, the front portals, is made out of foam core. And then I took the edges and I took some of the sheet and I scribed it off and then scraped away the foam and then glued that with wood glue. Also, I've used some screening, usually through Brangton's Enterprises. Uh, uh, some of his website, or not his website, but his videos, and I even seen some of his clinics. He uses fiberglass. I wanted something kind of pre-shaped. It's kind of hard to pre-shape uh, uh, using fiberglass screening. Plus, I've got the foam board here where I can apply my rock castings and give it enough to where there's enough clearance using the NMR gauge. Uh, Built the tunnel using door skin, basically door skin paneling, and I wanted something real fast, so I took foil and gave it kind of a wrinkle look, and then painted it. And then you can't really see the top, so I used a piece of styrene to give the rounded effect on the top there. I'm going to have a rock coming up through here. Rock all the way basically is a blasted out rock scene. And then also I've got a fill here. This is going to be basically like where they filled in a trestle. Also built out of using the Luan is a goes all the way through too. You can't really see it, but yeah, I guess you can a little bit. Is a culvert, and the epoxy I use for the water is basically also the glue that holds down the culvert also. And we got the opposite end where I had the rest of the highway and some more foam core. Of course, I had some tape on here and it pulled all that off. So what I think I may do is, I don't think I'll paint it. I'm just going to have some weeds and vines growing down there. Also, I'm going to put in a sign here, a billboard here, and I've downloaded some of these billboards off somebody's site, and I'm also going to have a wedge-shaped billboard here too. I just kind of like their neat advertisement. I'm going to scratch build out using some more Brangton. A friend of mine loaned me some of his castings, rock castings. Let me show you that. If I can, I'll find the right one. I'm going to have a church here made out of stone. I've not really seen too many stone churches, so I'm going to put some reliefs for the windows, and it's going to be my little called Watauga Creek, which is my name of my railroad, Watauga Creek and Southern. It's going to be Watauga Creek Baptist Church. Well, good enough for that. So anyway, they'll have the road that comes up from here. There'll be a retaining wall here, and I think I'm going to cut in and put a retaining wall here. A lot of rock castings here and there. Made a little relief here. It's going to be kind of a muddy area, and I'm going to call this Photographer's Corner here, or Photographer's Curve. So they'll either get trains coming up the mountain, or coming out of the tunnel, or going into the tunnel. So also I've got Luan on the back here, and I had a real close area here where I probably didn't get enough pull over for the roadbed, and kind of my mistake. So what I done was I put Luan up as close as I could, and then I took a vinyl sign. Now it's a little bit loose here, but I got some glue here, holes here. Sticks out about an inch on either side. I've got staples while the glue was drying, so now they're probably dry enough to I can take them out. And then I'm going to fill up to the corner here, to the edge here, and then this will all be painted black. I've used hot glue. I've used even the urethane where it'll go down and bond the wiring down to the Luan, and also the landform. So you'll see little bits and places here and there where I use hot glue just for welding purposes. I also use the water-based liquid nails to glue down the landform. You'll see I also used fiberglass screening to lay in so we don't have a fault line. Same here, and also over here where I had some cracks. It's very hard to be able to bend or try to make straight board. This is not layered. It's just sheets glued or cut and to fit the form the module to the roadbed and to the deck here. I think it worked out pretty good, and like I said, the screening is kind of lightweight, and then using that also, it does use up a lot of the water-based liquid nails, but I can also wet it and work it in, and it also makes it very strong, so I won't have any fault lines there. Also, I've used foam core foam core board, glued that up underneath the roadbed here, and hot glued that, so that's not going anywhere. So again, trying to make it as light as possible. I've got a Luan roadbed. This module is heavier than usual because I've used Luan, you'll see, to help support the outside, and little glue blocks down in here. I left this open so you could see this. I also used hot glue to seam the joints even on the screening. And overall, it's to try to make a very nicely scenic, very lightweight module. Again, the screening isn't very light compared to fiberglass, but again, with this much scenery, if I had to use plaster, it probably could weigh probably a good 50-60 pounds or more, and we can't have that. To me, right now, the module is very heavy, and it's not good. Nope. Don't drop that over. And again, these modules are lightweight and can be kind of top side. They can be top heavy. And of course, when they're all hooked together, they're pretty stable. I think they are. We've not had a problem yet. So when you hook them into the main layout and the curves and all like that, they work out pretty good. Got the other module. It's just kind of as a work table right now. And we have a 1-footer. And this is un pie, meaning in Spanish 1 foot. This module only serves one purpose, and that is to switch sides of the dual gauge or the narrow gauge, and then this hooks off to the end of this module. And what's going to happen is it will plug in here like this. The other module can now turn around on the opposite end and plug there, which will offset it about, I think it's about 4 or 5 inches. What else? I'm thinking about using, it's not cheap, pot toppers for possibly scenery. I'm going to have trees. And I don't want a whole lot of height on this. Probably the trees will be more rocks and smaller shrubbery on the hillside here. And there'll be a lot of weeds and some other underbrush. So anyway, haven't finished it all. I haven't painted this. I haven't put my steel pins in here for my alignment pins. I had a pin here, so I was testing operation. Of course, we got to always play with our trains, get a chance to get in with the trains. So these two modules don't have names yet. No working title, but hopefully they will be in the Timonium show. Great scale train show, and that will be coming up in April. And so hopefully we'll have a little more scenery. It may not be completed, but it's going to start really taking on a really neat effect. And watching trains on this pull this 5.5% grade is way cool. So anyways, this is Ken from Silly Westies, guys. Hope you enjoyed some of my scenery techniques I'm doing and seeing the progress of the modules. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a line. Give me a thumbs up. And this is Ken from Silly Westies saying adieu.